Welcome back to the FPS tutorial. This is the second to last part of this series. Today I have a few things planned. We're going to add in ammo types, so like different types of ammo that do different damage amounts. That's what we'll do. In your game you could make it so different ammo types, for example, go through armor quicker than health, or health quicker than armor, or are better against certain types of enemies, something like that. Crouching, which isn't complicated, it's just a pain. Crosshairs, we'll do that probably last. Finishing game mode, same with that as well, we'll probably just do that last. Bullet tracers, which, I mean, it's okay. And shotgun reloads, which we're going to do first. The reason why we're going to do that first is because, well, I've got it set up and ready. I was actually in Blender and I made a few animations, which you will also have to make. So we have a shooting animation. We have an idle. It's pretty simple. Equip, which is this. De-equip. We have 3 reloading animations. We have reload enter, which is how it plays when it first goes into the reload, so like that. You can see it kind of ends abruptly, because then after that we're going to play the pump shell reload, which is this, and that'll get repeated for how many bullets you need. Then we have reload pump, which is just when the reload's finished. I didn't do an inspect or anything because, to be honest, I didn't have time. I literally made all these in the past hour. Like, I sat down and I animated all of these, so that's why some of them may be a bit rough. Like, the de-equip animation's 3 keyframes. Obviously, I think it goes without saying I set up a view model for that gun. I also created a module script. I didn't create a third-person gun or third-person animations. This is the M4's module copied. I also changed loadout 2 to have it. It'll equip and we can move around with it. But there's a few issues with this. Obviously. The first thing I'd like to do is adjust some of the settings in the module. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to change this to semi. Can full auto to false. Is shotgun to true. And we'll change the ammo and stuff in a second. I'll change headshot damage to 100. Body damage to, let's say, 35 or something. I don't know. Probably really unbalanced, but, you know. So now this is a lot more like a shotgun in terms of gunplay. In terms of how it looks, it doesn't really work well. The sounds are rough. We have an idea of what it's gonna behave like. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change the debounce time to something like 0.75, so that way we can get an idea of what it'll be like. I just equipped the wrong loadout. That way we can get an idea of like the time in between shots. So now really quick, I'm actually going to search for the mag capacity of, okay, so like 8. I'm just gonna 8, max ammo 7, reserve, let's say 7 times 8, 56. So now we have a base of our gun. We can start importing the animations that we made, or I made. So just have to go through one by one. I'll start with shooting because we can just see that immediately. If I go over here, I was originally going to add like a lot of loadouts, so I started rigging a bunch of guns, but I never got around to it. I've just never had the time, or when I do have time, I'm just busy doing other stuff. Okay, so that's good. What we're going to do is we're going to disable looping. We're going to upload animation to Roblox. Yes. M590. Just going to delete this keyframe sequence. I'm going to go into here. And then where we fire and fire empty will both just be the same ID. Right, let's wrong weapon again. Okay, we need the time to be a little bit, the debounce time to be a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna say 0.5. I personally prefer it to be after the pump, like immediately after the pump. I'd say that's good. The equipping and de-equipping animations, because those are easy enough to get in. We're gonna have to implement the reload. I'm gonna disable looping's already disabled. Upload. M590. Whip. I also kind of want to turn down the spread because it's kind of rough right now. Equip, just set that correctly. While we're here, we'll just do the equip as well. So export. Paste it in. Upload. M590. The equip. Okay. So now it should have the right equipping and de-equipping animations. Yep. I'm not going to use a Fortnite pump. Okay, so I also got a sound effect. We don't need this. Now for reloading. The way it's going to work is, I kind of explained it before, but we're going to play the enter animation. Once that's done, we'll wait for that to finish. We'll play the shell animation as many times as we need to. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll play the pump. If it's the last, if we have no bullets after that, then we'll cancel it. So we have the reload enter. Go ahead and just put this in this one. So now if I reload, it will play that animation, but it won't do anything else. Now what we can do is we can do the shell. So I enabled loop, and this is what we have. And I'm just gonna put this, and I'll create one called reload. Reload shell anim. Reload end anim. And I'll make another one called reload end empty anim. So we'll export the pump. Upload animation to Roblox. 590 reload. Put this in both of these. Yeah. So now we have all of our IDs except our idle. I'm gonna grab the idle, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add animation events to everything, and I'll walk you through how to do that. So now we should have an idle animation. Yep. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna get rid of the empty reload. I'm gonna go into here, Control F to find reload. Also here, you can do the same for third person. I'm not going to. And then 3 more. No one. And then, reload end. Reload end shotgun, I'll call it. Reload shell shotgun. That's probably fine. The thing is, we're gonna have to change the key of these, so wow, we use these a lot. We're gonna have to go through a lot. So okay, now we're gonna go through. So 6. This should be 8 now. And then this should be 9. And then this should be 10. I'll copy this. Number 4. No, that's the wrong one. So that's 10. Did we have any things over here? Yes, we did. So 10, 9, 8. I think that's where we... Yeah, that is. So we have 2 more to insert here. Six, 7. All these need to be 6. That needs to be 7. Now we have to name them. What do we name them? Reload, shell, shotgun, reload, and shotgun. Make sure they have the right name. What I'm actually also going to do is I'm going to get rid of the reload end empty and just put that as empty reload. So then we need reload shell. We need reload end. That's good. Here, that can stay the same. Okay, so that's fine. The problem is now if I equip another gun, it's going to error. So I need to create those. So now I need to do this. I'll just leave these as empty IDs. That should be good. So there is problems with it. We'll fix those. That's fine. Copy these into... Oh, Miller needs them. I'll do in throwables as well, because... Okay, that looks fine. So... now we need to make sure our animations are correct. So... first person 6 we'll start with. I'm not gonna add full auto shotguns, but you'll need to go through here and stop and play certain animations. Six, so originally 6 was empty reload, that should be 8 now. That should be 8. That's all fine. We need to find first person 7. Change this to 9. And here go to 8. This should be 10, that's idle, so 10. We stop at 8 twice, I just noticed that. Probably would have been better to add them onto the end, but it's just more organized, I guess. I mean, this code is far from organized, so... Okay, so for some reason our empty reload isn't playing, so that should be 10. So empty reload is 8, so... Let me go to reload. We played 10, we should be playing 8. So... It's jittering because we're playing another animation. What is the animation we're playing? 5. So we played 8. We don't stop 9. We don't stop 8, but we don't need to stop 8. Here we should say this. 8 right there. A is not there, so now it should be working the same. I mean, that worked fine. Yeah, okay, that fixed it. I don't know what the problem was. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to reload here, and I'm going to say if not is, or if not framework.module.is shotgun. Do that, else print, just print shotgun. It will say shotgun, but we can't, no. So it'll say shotgun, and then it'll wait, reload. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the reload. I'm going to say wait 3, or test.wait. And then we want to play 8. So now if we try it, that works. Okay, so we're going to play that, and we're going to say repeat task.wait until not framework dot animations dot first person 5 dot is playing. And then what we're going to do is we'll print shell reload, just something like that. Okay, so now we have this all working fine. Local ammo needed equals framework.module.max ammo minus framework.module.ammo. Local ammo or local, we'll just set n reserve ammo equals framework.module.reserve ammo minus minus ammo needed. So now we have the ammo that we need to, what the reserve ammo is going to become, the ammo that we need. What we can also do is we can say if framework.module.is chambered equals true, then ammo needed plus equals 1, and reserve ammo minus equals 1. Now, if I print ammo needed and then print reserve ammo, that should work out fine, I hope. So now we should go down to, we should have 55 and then 1. Yeah. Okay, so that's working fine. We're getting all of the right values and stuff. And our reload system's working cool. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just take all of this and put it in here. So then right here for now I'll just put this. And we'll just delete this for now, because we're going to do animation events, so yeah. What we'll do is we play the introduction, and then we need to do a for loop. For I equals ammo needed. And say print shell added, and then hopefully this should work. So we should print twice. Yep. Cool. So now what we can do is in here we can say basically the same thing here, exact same thing, and we can actually, we don't even need to do that. We can just right here I'll just say wait like 10 seconds for now. But in this loop, all we need to do is we need to play the shell animation, which is 6. And then we'll trigger an event, and we'll use that event to detect when we should move on. So we can actually just say play. We don't even need a for loop now that I think about it. So now it'll start loading in shells. It's really jittery, but... So now, I'm actually going to remove that wait because we don't need it. And what I'm going to do... is, well, we don't need to wait reload time. We can just... yeah. Okay, so in the shotgun, I'm going to open animation editor, and I'm going to import I'm going to choose reload shell. It isn't playing, but okay. So go into Blender, reload shell. About here, we'll right click, add animation event. The event will be called increase. Just increase. We'll publish. Override. Reload shell. Delete anim saves. And then here I'll say local anim event equals, so we need to say framework dot animations dot first person 6 colon get marker reached signal increase colon connect function. And then here we'll just say print shell loaded. So as you can see, it's printing correctly. And I'm going to say framework.module.ammo plus equals 1. Framework.module.reserve ammo minus equals 1. And I'll say if framework.module.reserve ammo equals 0, is less or equal to 0, or actually also say ammo needed minus equals 1, or ammo needed equals is less or equal to 0. Then really quick, I'm also gonna change this. I'm gonna move this up here and then put this to down here because Roblox is weird. And I'll say animation event disconnect, just so that we're not wasting memory. I know we haven't really disconnected anything else in this series, but you know, why not? Okay, right now we play the anim event. We stop the anim event even, but what I'm also going to do is I'm going to say framework.animations.firstperson6 on stop. Underneath here, I will say, I'll just say print done for now. Let me just see how this is looking. So we should do it 5 times. So yeah, that works. I mean, it's a bit awkward and a bit jittery, but we'll fix that. What we can do is here I'll actually say repeat task.wait until framework.animations.firstperson6 is playing. Actually, until not. And then I'll say stop. That shouldn't work, I don't think. I mean, if it does, then great, but I don't think it will. No, it doesn't. Okay, so now we stop, and then, but after that I want to actually say if framework.module.is chambered, then, and I'll put an else. I'll say 8 play. Otherwise, we'll play 7. And now it should hopefully work. Let me just put a wait 3 seconds or something. We need to basically check that when we're done, we need to play it directly after. So I think what we'll do is here we'll just say repeat task.wait until .firstperson6 .time length. Oh, is it? It's time position. I remember. It's greater than .length. Actually, say greater or equal just to be safe. Now that should hopefully work. It didn't. What I'll actually do is in the shotgun reload, instead of doing this, I'll say task.wait framework.animations.firstperson5.length minus, we'll say minus 0.1 or something. Just actually no, maybe 0.05. And then here we'll just say stop. So now I see the issue. It's more that it's more that we're only waiting. Okay. What I'll say is local is done reloading equals false. And down here I'll say repeat wait task.wait until repeat task.wait until is done. And then here I'll just set it to true. Now that should work fine, I think. I don't know why it's so shaky. I'm actually going to try and fix that right now. So it's first person 6. I'm just gonna make sure that it doesn't play at the right times. That's right. That's right. Okay, now it should hopefully be working, I think. Yep, that worked perfectly. Okay, so now we have that working fine. I want to add some sounds for it as well. So what I'm going to do is here where we have sounds, I'm not going to do the same thing this time. I'm just going to add 2 new sounds on the bottom for reload, shell, shotgun, and reload end shotgun. So now I'm assuming that this gets created in, well, it obviously does, gets created in the server script. So yeah, so we'll call this 2 more times and we'll say reload, shell, shotgun, and reload end shotgun. Okay, so 7 and 8. 7, 8. I'm gonna just grab a random sound from the toolbox. That's good. Paste that in. Shotgun shell. That's also good. I'm gonna paste that in. Oh, we do item folly. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that as well. And we'll put this whenever this is fired, we'll play and we'll say reload shell shotgun. And here we'll say reload end shotgun for both of these. Let's test it out. Okay, so now that's playing. That works fine. Let me just adjust some settings really quick. So in here, I'm going to just set this to 1 and see what that does. Okay, that makes it a bit better actually. I'm gonna set it to 0.75. So now we can reload. You guys can't hear this, I have the sound turned off, but it is playing sounds. Another problem that I've noticed is we don't set this to true. Never mind, I guess we do. Ah, it's shotgun shooting that does, so shoot. Can sprint equals false. I'll just put can sprint equals true there. I think that's the reason why it wasn't working right. Let me test it. So can sprint equals true. So now we can sprint after shooting. So now we have shotguns implemented. We can adjust the module. I'm gonna boost the recoil, so this should be vertical. I'm gonna say 5. I'll just put it as 5. No, I'll put it as like 15. I'll put these as that should be fine. Okay, a little bit too high. 8. I want it to be noticeable, but not. Okay. The problem is we can't cancel it, so I'll have a... When I reload, up here I'll have a variable called local can cancel reload equals false. And what I'll do, I'll just say reload cancel equals false. And then what will happen is when we reload, because of, so here, I'll say R reload cancel equals true. And then I'll say reload cancel equals false. At the start here, I'll say reload cancel equals false. And then when we shoot, I'll set reload cancel. Oh. So I'll move this to the top of the script. So when we shoot, I'll set reload cancel to true. In our full auto loop, I'll just do it here. Cancel to true. If I publish this and I try it, we should be able to cancel the reload now. So if I reload, it doesn't work. I think I know why. Reload. Call it here. You set can reload to false, or can shoot to false. I'll remove that from there. Down here, I'm going to say... Okay, so wait, that should actually just work, I think. I found a problem. So in reload, to just fix that right now, I'm going to say and reserve ammo is greater than 0 and framework.module.ammo is less than or equal to framework.module.max ammo plus 1. Is less than, I'm actually just going to say. So then that stops the problem. So now we can't cancel the reload, and I think so we should just set it to true. Mouse button 1. Is I'll just say reload cancel equals true here, and I'm gonna find everywhere else where I put that and just remove it. So that's only when we press the left mouse button, and then if I switch, we can cancel. And the good thing is it waits till the next cycle is complete. Nice. I'm going to remove that print statement. Here it is. And I'm going to... Next, I'm going to add shotgun shells. So what we need to do is we need to go to the module. And I think we... Did we have a spread variable? I don't think we... No, we didn't. That's fine. That's all fine. I think we just set it down here, right? Yeah, here it is. I'm gonna change this to like 5, all of these. Then what I'm also gonna do is I'm going to the view model here, check where the muzzle. Why is that's the main muzzle on this axis. I'll rotate it slightly as well. Then I'm gonna get rig edit. In here, I'm going to. There's a min. I'm just gonna weld it. Duplicate this. Put it in the view models folder. And now, I think that's pretty good. It's rewarding when you're close up, punishing from a distance. So it works like how a shotgun should. It's a lot easier to hit shots now. So another problem is our weapons, all the sounds and stuff aren't there. So we need to bring them over. I'll just copy these, we don't really need them. I'm gonna have to put these in every module. Variables. That should work. Okay, so we did get an animation failed to load error, but our system's working fine. You can put an ID in there. You can just leave it as it is right now. What we need to do next is we're going to do crouching. Now, the thing with crouching is you have to make an animation, which I'm going to do very quick. I'm just going to do it in Studio. So what we need to do is we need to make an animation, which is going to be annoying, but yeah, I'm going to do R6 and I'll just a block avatar. And we're going to open up the animation editor. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to make a crouched animation. And I'm going to enable looping. And then we're going to publish. I'll just name it crouch. We will create a crouch walk animation, but just not right now. I'm going to enable the output again. And I'm going to go to the character script. I'll just say local crouch ID. IDs equals, and we'll just say idle equals there we go. And I'll just say for IV in pairs crouch IDs do local anim equals instance.new animation. We'll parent it to the character. What we can actually do is we can say local animations equals instance.new animation. I'm going to put it into character. Actually, no, not animation, folder. I'm not thinking. Folder, and we'll just say animations.name equals something like movement animations will be good. Parent this to the folder. Anim.name equals I. Anim.animation ID equals V. This should work fine. That was me. Here they are. idle with the ID. Cool. Actually, now that I'm looking, I think we should probably do this in framework client because that's why everything else is. I'll just put this right here. And then we can create a function called crouch. Up here, I'll say local is crouched. You can have a can crouched if you want. Is crouched equals not is crouched. And then we can say if is crouched, then I will say, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to say local crouch tracks equals, and then just have an empty table. And in here we'll say table.insert crouch tracks, and then we'll say character dot humanoid dot animator load animation, and we can set this to V. Oh, actually no, anim. And now that I'm thinking about it, it'd actually be better to go crouch tracks I, and then put this. So now when we say crouch tracks dot idle, it will have this animation track. So I'll say crouch tracks dot idle play else, and then here we can just stop. Now obviously we need to trigger this function, so I'll say input began, and just like here I'll say if input dot user, oh no, if input dot keycode equals enum dot keycode dot left control, then crouch. Now this is a toggle. We can fire the function again when we lift it up, and that will stop that from happening. I've also noticed that we are R15. Now as for the animation, I'm gonna go and create a block rig R15 because that's what my game is. I'm gonna open up the animation editor and I'm gonna publish. Copy the ID and then paste it into the thing here, or in crouch. We just make sure that worked. We're not changing the hip height, so if we change it to like 1.5, then that's how we get lower down. So then if we look in the game, we are lower. So now we need to change the hip height. So I'm going to create an event. I'll just call it crouch toggle. And in framework sub, I'm going to scroll down. Just like here. Yeah, right here. Game.replicated storage fence dot crouch toggle dot on the server event. All we need is the player and just a toggle boolean, and then we'll say if toggle then player dot character dot humanoid dot hip height equals Let me just take a look at what the default hip height is. Hip height, I'll just copy it. I'll actually wrap this in an else statement because that's going to be if we're stood. So let me just take a look at what seems appropriate. I'll just change it to 1.5. 1.5 works well. It's a little bit low effort and the animation looks kind of awful, but you know, it is. We are technically crouched. I don't have time to make a better animation, unfortunately, because I gotta get this video out pretty quick. Why is there so many folders being created? Game.replicated storage dot events dot crouch toggle fire server, and we'll come back to that in a second because I'm just gonna set this to 1.5. Then in here we'll say is crouched, but we're gonna put this here. So now it should hopefully work. Yep, we have a basic crouch. It's a little bit high, but yeah, it's a basic crouch. I'm gonna copy the bullet hole code. I think it's a problem in the modules because I don't want that many folders being created. Yeah, oh, we don't set the name. I'm just gonna copy it. Do this in every module. We only need to do it in guns. Right here. We're gonna paste it in again. So now it should be working fine. Oh. Index nil with position. Alright, so the problem is we say ray, we want to say result. Very slight difference, but yeah. Probably should have changed that to ray. Oh well, I'm just gonna copy it and paste it. So copy this in here. So now it should work fine. It shouldn't get any errors and it should give us the result we want. Yeah. As you can see. And we can also crouch. I'm going to adjust crouching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the framework server and I'm going to change the half height by hip height. I change the hip height to like 1.25. That's noticeable. And when we're crouched, I'm going to say can sprint equals false. Is sprinting equals false. And I'm also going to just change that to true. We don't need this. I'll also set the walk speed back. So here, and then in here, I'm going to set this to like 7 or something. Just something smaller. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, go into character. I'm going to say all humanoid.walk speed. Actually, no, I'm going to say is less or equal to 13. Okay, so I'm also going to say that here. And when we call shoot, I'll say if is crouched, then else, and I'll put this. I think the walk speed was 7. Yeah. And I'll say and not is crouched. And not. Oh no, that's fine. So now we can crouch. So now what we have left for this episode is we're going to talk about ammo types and how to add those in. While we're here, actually, I'm going to fix the shotgun shell issue. As you can see, we're getting a casing coming out. We want a shotgun shell. So the way we're going to do this is, as you can see, I found a shotgun shell on the toolbox, which is what I use to animate with. I'm going to create a copy of bullet casing, which is all the way over there. Bring it up here with us. And just resize it. I mean, that to me looks pretty good, so I'm just going to name it shotgun shell. Put it in here. Something I'll also do is I'll just rotate it 90 degrees. And I'm pretty sure we create the shell in the modules. Casing. No, it must be in framework client then. I'll just say local casing, and then I'll say if framework.module.is shotgun, then else I'll say casing equals this. Otherwise, we'll say dot shotgun shell.clone. Almost we got this. And now if we play it, we should... I know the problem. We have another one here as well. Paste the same thing in, and now it should work as intended. As you can see, we do have a shotgun shell. Now, obviously, they're not gonna fall that quick, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna say task.wait like a second. I'm gonna say 0.25 maybe. I'd recommend actually doing this through an animation event, but I don't really need to explain that again because I've already showed you guys how to use them. And something that I'll actually do as well is I'll say local casing velocity, and in here I'll say casing velocity equals this, and then set this velocity to casing velocity, and then in here I'll just times it by like 8 just because I want it to be a bit slower. Okay, that didn't really do much, so I'm gonna say I'll say 13 maybe. I also kind of want to go to the view model over here, go to casing eject, and just move it down a bit. Re-rig it, create weld. Drag this into our view models folder, and now hopefully it should look a bit better. One of those looked really good, the rest kind of looked a bit off. I'm actually gonna move these in there, and I'm going to, we'll just comment out this section for now just to see what it looks like on its own. Okay, so I should probably times this by 90. And then I'll just put 0, 0. No, that's not it. So then it's probably, yeah. Okay, so this should be 270 then. 270. And when we set the force, I'm gonna say times 25. I'll also add a bit of rotation here. I'll say like 5. Okay, maybe not that much force. 25 isn't good. I'm gonna say 17. Because if it was 25, we could have just removed the different. I'm actually gonna say weight 0.1. No, that's too soon. Waypoint 2 is good enough. Here I'm going to set this to 15 instead. And I'm going to say casing dot assembly angular velocity equals vector3 dot new. I'll just say like 50 0 0. I just want to see what that looks like. So now we have a bit more like rotational stuff. I just want to keep it to a minimum on the right axis. Let me just try changing it on some axes just to keep it random. I mean, that looks pretty good. I think that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm also going to change that in the other section with casing. So here. Nice. To start, we need to add some attachments. Now, I did notice a problem with our shotgun again, obviously. If we go into the attachment menu and we click attachments, you can see that these are all there. It is working, so that's cool, but you know, we need to get rid of red dot and stuff. So to start, we'll go into modules. We'll find the module for our shotgun, and here where we have attachments, I'm just gonna remove those. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna say current ammo type equals, and we'll just have like regular. You can have specific ammo types. I'm gonna do it like COD, where it's kind of, it's where like you have a base ammo type that just does the regular damage, regular stats, regular everything, and then we'll check for if you have another ammo type equipped, which if you do, you can do different things. What we're gonna do for this video though is we're only gonna change how much damage is done. So then we can say ammo types. Yeah, we need just regular. And then we could have something like Fletchit. Now I'm actually trying to think of how to do this, because we've got damage down here and headshot. But the problem is we want to check this based on ammo type. So I think what we'll do is we'll move this into here, and we'll have it like we can just say name equals regular. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. We'll just paste this in. Do another one for this. And for damage, I think what we'll do is we'll say like, we'll just say 45, just slightly more. I'm not going to change headshot, that's fine. Now the problem with this is that's going to error because we've moved the damage and the headshot variables. So we need to basically adjust this to work with the structure of ammo types. So go to Starter GUI, customization menu, and it was here. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna duplicate barrel devices, and I'll just call it ammo types. Then we can change the value to just something like that for now. Okay, so that's all handled for us, so we can just make them visible, make this visible, disable UI. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to actually make it so when you change the ammo type, it deals the specific amount of damage, and then that'll also stop the error. So here, as you can see, we say settings.headshot. What we actually want to do is we want to say settings.attachments.ammo types, then search for current ammo type, and then we deal that damage. So settings.attachments.ammo types, and then we're going to search for settings.attachments.current ammo type. Headshot. We'll put this in here too. Put this in here, change headshot to damage. And now hopefully that should work. Okay, so we don't have any errors. It should just all work the same when we run over and shoot someone. I mean, yeah, it's not doing anything wrong. So the way we can also test this is we can scroll up and we can change this to Fletcher. And then that should hopefully increase our damage. Yep, it does. Cool. Now, the next problem we have is that we're not actually able to change it in-game. So, the way we're going to do this is we're going to go into Framework Client, and then we can mouse button one click. So that's when we select customize. This is when we select all the stuff. Okay, so the first problem is that this is visible all the time. It doesn't turn invisible. And when you click it, it does nothing. So the next thing we need to do is we need to actually set them to visible. So we'll say just sites.visible, and then wherever we say that, we'll copy and paste ammo types. Here we'll set it to true. Here we'll set it to false. 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 We'll do it here as well. And then I think that's all of it. Yeah. So now that should work fine. Hopefully. It's looking good. So now we have the next thing of we need to actually change what happens. So I'm just gonna copy this code for sites and paste it, and I'm gonna put it as ammo types instead. Attachment type equals ammo types. So then we clear it. We need to say local ammo type. Set the parent. Now if I try it, it errors because there's a string expected, but we've got nil because it's a table. But here we're actually searching through sites. We want to search through ammo types. And we're going to just put the name as I directly. And then that should hopefully work. Yep. But as you can see, we can't change ammo type. And for some reason, I didn't change it back from Fletcher. So I'm going to do that really quick. And I think it's in confirm. Confirm, set it all to invisible. In here, I'm going to set this to current ammo type. I'm going to set this to ammo types. Here we need to make another if statement. If attachment type equals ammo types, then what we can do is I'll paste this in and I'll say ammo types current ammo type. And now if I try it, so as you can see, we've got regular, we can equip Fletcher. If I confirm with regular, it does 35, but if I customize attachments, ammo types, Fletcher, confirm, select, it still does 35. It's because we're checking settings. I'm gonna try and do it. Oh, I'm gonna try and do it like this instead. We're gonna require the module from here, and then we'll use that to get the ammo type. Pretty terrible solution, but it might work, I don't know. So we'll do this with our headshot and the damage. Now if I don't change the ammo, it should hopefully work. Yeah. And then if I do, it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Yeah, so the problem is this is the default settings. So what we should do instead is we need to get the damage. Which is going to be awkward to do. So let me call shoot. I don't think we do. I'm going to say framework.module.attachments .current ammo type. Paste it in here too. Oh. And then when we call shoot in the server, I'm gonna say ammo type, pass that through to the module. Then I'm gonna go to the module, find the fire function, and we'll just like local current ammo type equals, and for now we'll just say settings.attachments.current ammo type, and then down here we'll just say current ammo type equals ammo type. Down here set these to current ammo type. We're gonna have to adjust this for every gun, which is a pain, but oh. Okay, that should hopefully work. So it works normally when we're just shooting like that, but then change this. It should. Oh yeah. Now we're gonna have to go through each module script, add current ammo type, create anything that says ammo types. In this we'll add regular, copy and paste the damage inside of regular. We'll just set all of this as the same, and then down here, when we do damage, I'm just gonna copy this, paste it in, and I'll do the same for the M9. And now it should work fine on every gun. So now we have ammo types working.